What's going on, guys? The Barber Phil here, back again with another haircut tutorial. Today's cut, it's going to just be a 1-2-3 fade up the sides. We're going to taper out the temple areas. We're going to taper out the nape. I'm going to leave it a little bit weighted around the perimeter. He's just going to kind of wear it messy and pushed over. Let's get right into this weight. We're going to block graduate this using a wide tooth comb so that I can really see the lines that I'm creating with the comb, and it's going to allow me to section it off better. The two-tone up top with his highlights helped out a lot with this. We're going to section this around here, meet it in the back, section the other side just the same, and then we'll get into some shear work. So with the block graduation here, I am using my comb. I'm scooping up through the hair, lifting it away from the head, and I'm placing the hair between my middle finger and my pointer finger. Now what I like to do personally, and I do this when I also do clipper over comb, is I will place the middle finger flush to the head, and I will angle that pointer finger out away from the head stem. That's going to over direct and extend that hair out a little bit, allowing us to leave a little bit more weight than if you were to have both fingers flush to the head. I do the same thing when I do clipper over comb. I place the bottom of the comb flush to the head, and I angle the teeth out away, and it creates the same thing. And then right here, I went from doing the clipper over or the shear over comb with block graduation, doing it horizontally, to now I'm holding my fingers vertically. Just going to clean it up a little bit more, and then we'll come in behind this and we'll start doing the fade. So we're starting this fade off with an open 3-guard in the Andis Purple Guard set. I'm using my Cordless Senior modified with the Andis Master blade, and I also have the ceramic blade on there. I just like the way it cuts a little bit softer, not such a harsh cut, keeps the blades cooler. But I'm coming up through here making sure that we scoop out at the top. I do use my comb a few times to hold this weight around the perimeter down, and we scoop up through there, making sure that we kind of flick our wrist out at the top. These cuts are kind of difficult sometimes if you haven't cut two-tone haircuts like this, because these highlights right here, they leave such a harsh line. It's not as harsh as what it really looks, but with those two tones, it really just leaves like a blunt line up through there. So we'll obviously come back in later, and we'll use a little bit of blending shears and lighten that up just a little bit. I immediately came in behind that open 3-guard, and I just went straight to an open 2-guard. We're basically just meeting this 2-guard up to the bottom of where we started the 3-guard. That's going to transition that fade right in. And then I believe right after this, we will come in. I do switch over to my Cordless Master clip, and I have the Wall Premium 1.5 guard open. We're going to use that just below that 2-guard. I've personally found that I need that 1.5 to blend between the Andis Purple Guard 1 open and the 2 open. I've found that it's that perfect guard that takes both of those, and combines them together. And then we'll come in back with the Cordless Senior modified with the Andis Master blade with the 1 guard open just below this. Hit me up in the comments and let me know if you've done much two-tone haircuts like this and what some of your experiences are, whether you liked the haircuts after it was over or you didn't, if it made it more difficult or if it made it easier. So like I said, we're going to use the 1-guard open. We're going to blend that up into the 1.5 all the way around. I do close it up here multiple times. I scoop around the ear, go ahead and knock that down to get it ready for the trimmers. And then I also do the closed 1-guard at the bottom here so that we can be prepared for the taper in just a minute. I always try to keep in mind that every stroke that I take when I'm doing a haircut, it has a purpose, it has a reason. If you have a 1-guard on here right now, open it up, meet up into the 1.5 if you need to, then you can close it right up since you already have it on there. That way you're prepared when you do your taper. You don't do your taper and then put the 1-guard back on there. You've already knocked that area out. Here I closed up the lever with a no guard, halfway open, bumped it all the way open, flicked up into that 1. I do have a 0 guard on there just to meet the open lever and then one guard, took it off, and we're going to do the same steps right here in the nape area for the taper in the back, and then we'll turn them around and we'll do the exact same steps, keeping everything consistent with the taper on this right side. Let's see if you guys caught it right there. That's the only complaint that I have about Andis magnetic purple guards, is the magnets in those guards always catch the clamps there, the metal clamps or snap buttons on the capes that we use. I don't think it's just these capes. It'd be any cape that has any type of metal closing, but it's my personal experience with them. I love them. I love the guard sets. I'm going to continue to use them, but it does drive me crazy every time I do a taper in the back. Those guards always catch those metal pieces, and you know, I always feel like I'm getting snagged on something, and then I realize what it is every single time. So I've come in with my Babyliss Gold Fx trimmer, and I'm doing the lines around his ear, making sure that we fold the ear down. We use the left side of our blade when we're on the right ear, and you make sure that you fold that ear down and you scoop that hair out that's just above the ear. I mentioned that in a video before. That's a spot that a lot of barbers seem to leave. When you come over to the other side, keep those lines consistent the same way. When you're on the left side of the head, use the right side of the blade when coming around the ear. You just use that last little portion of the blade. You don't use the full blade when coming around the ear. And then we're going to resaturate the top of the hair and knock this length down some. So what I did was I sectioned it down the middle, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically do the same thing I did with block graduation, and I'm going to meet this hair that I've separated down the middle to each side. I am going to meet that with the same weight line that we did originally with block graduation. There, you saw me, I kind of sectioned off the front. We'll do that separate. And that's what I was talking about earlier, guys. With these highlights like this, it really cutting blunt shear cuts through here. It makes it look not as good a haircut as what it really is. I'm not saying it for myself, just anyone that cuts people that have highlights like this. It does make it difficult because it gives off a totally different appearance than what, you know, the haircut really does look in person. So here what I did was I come back down through the middle. I'm doing some pretty deep point cuts, trying to, you know, blend this a little bit and give him a little bit of texture. I'm going to over direct it back the other way because he also wanted to be able to wear his hair to either side if need be. So we're trying to make sure that this is as balanced both ways as we can get it. So I use my Dyson blow dryer to completely get the hair dry. We're combing the hair back in the natural direction that it lays. And as you can tell from the block graduation that we did with the shears, it does leave more of a blunt kind of look to it around the perimeter. So we're using a 13 teeth blending shear. This is going to really soften that perimeter. It gives a point cut look. He asked for no product, so I just came in with the hair dry, ran my fingers through it, kind of give it that finger comb over type look, natural, pushed over. Let me know what you think, guys. So here you go, guys. This was the before. We did a 1, 2, 3 fade on the side, tapered out the temple, tapered out the neck area, blended it up into the perimeter, left it balanced for both sides so you can push it off either way he wants. As always, guys, I appreciate the love and support for the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on that notification bell so that you're updated every time I post new content. Right now we're sticking to Sunday, Wednesday. I'm trying my best to keep 2 videos coming out a week. It's tough as a new YouTuber to keep that content coming, but I promise you I'm going to do my best to do it. Hit that like button if you liked it. Dislike if you didn't like it. And as always, guys, we'll catch you next time.